Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekend update. We have a lot of charts to get into today, so let's jump right in, do a quick overview here of the market. We're looking at the Dow daily chart here, and over the last couple of days, we had some selling come in. We had that resistance level up there at 27K, kind of put a stop to the slow upward momentum we had. And, we're still above the 50-day. We're still above the 200-day. We closed slightly under this uptrend line, but not to the point you would get scared. We've got an increase in selling volume, which has been typical on this market. But as I've said before, what is going to drive this market for the next 2 weeks is what is going on in Washington, D.C., aka the stimulus bill. So whatever comes out of there, deal, no deal chatter, is going to determine the direction of this market near term. Now, the Republicans have been going back and forth trying to argue within themselves on the deal, and that's why we've seen the weakness as they come, together to come up with their plan. Remember, that's only half the battle. They have to talk to the Democrats now, who are going to probably say no to a lot of the things, and that's where the risk is going to come on the market. Now, what we're going to look at here is this is the QQQ. This is the large cap NASDAQ stocks. This is a rising channel that has been in place on the QQQ. These are like Facebook, Tesla, Netflix, all those big daddy, Apple, all the big tech stocks that have been driving momentum. This is the ETF for it. We closed down below that uptrend on Friday. Now, you see here on RSI, it's down to that 50 level, but what I want you to look at is we're going to scroll down here. For the first time since March, stochastics broke under 50. Now, I don't have it here on the chart, but the last time stochastics broke down under 50 on the QQQ was right when we were doing this implosion on the tech stocks. So this is something we want to keep an eye on this week. Remember, the tech stocks are the momentum of the market. So that's why we're paying attention to what happens in these stocks. So again, we're going to be at the mercy of the Washington news for the next 2 weeks. So keep that in mind when you see sharp dips and sharp pops on the market. The pops are going to be about some deal. The dips are going to be about no deal. So let's jump into some stock plays. ADMP. This is now my favorite COVID-19 play because we've had all the other ones. It was a fantastic week. They all broke out. These are COVID stocks that we know news is coming on. It's overdue. You know the research. You can just go into the swing or alert room and you'll see all the research on there for these plays. But here we've got a very, very nice breakout setting up here, which is why we jumped into some shares a couple of times in the past week, waiting for that breakout. We almost got it on Friday. Someone was sitting on the ask, holding this puppy back. Where will they come chasing? We already know. They'll start to move in at 115 and they'll love it at 125. Nice little bounce on RSI. This is the 1 hour chart that we're looking at, and stochastics look very, very nice here. What we're going to look at here, though, is the weekly chart. Now, the weekly chart has broken out perfectly. We got above that 50-day moving average, and it has not looked back. Looking at this chart, the next level would be the 140s, and then a crazy move on how good the COVID-19 data is for their drug would be up here in the 2s. So excellent setup going into this week. DSS, this is one of my largest swing holes in the COVID-19 space. Again, we're waiting for that merger. The vote is going to be in a couple of weeks. This stock is trapped in a very tight range, $7.60 to $8 back and forth. Where would the scanner chasers come in? Probably $8.10 to $8.20 with the possibility of a spike up to the 9s. Now, if we look here at the daily chart, you can see the trading range. We come down to the mid 7s, spike to the 9s, down to the mid 7s, spike to the 9s. We're holding up just underneath that 50-day and 200-day moving average here. So this is a very, very tight consolidation. This typically happens on stocks before we see a substantial move. We've got RSI flatlined, stochastics, same thing. So this chart looks like it's getting ready for a move very, very soon. CHFS. Well, it wasn't a press release, but at least on Friday, they finally, after 2 weeks, hinted at that news they told us about on the webinar. They tweeted that their system is being used in 200 plus hospitals. Drop a press release already. Most guys don't believe any of that stuff. The scanners only chase news items. So let's see if these guys are smart enough. They hinted in that tweet on Friday about it. So let's see if we get that press release on Monday. Stock is holding the 200-day moving average here nicely. Now we're going to flip over here and we're going to look at a weekly chart on this stock. And check this out. This is the 50-day moving average on the weekly. 89 cents. Now remember, these guys cannot do a reverse split now. It was been voted down a couple of times. They need to get this stock above $1. So they are going to be motivated to put out a lot of press releases to get this stock back up over $1. Plain and simple. That's why we're riding the wave here, waiting for them to go on this PR blitz. JAGX. JAGX is another stock. We are waiting on COVID-19 news. You know all the details. It's been 7 weeks now since they announced that they were researching their drug to work for COVID. We've got a nice little range here going on between 60 to 77 cents. If we look at the daily chart here pulled out, again, this stock is holding up above the 200-day moving average, bouncing back and forth. 80 cents. That's going to be the break spot on this one. 80 cents, everyone's going to go, okay, this stock's going to $1. And then you know the rest of that story. The scanners come chasing in looking for that gain. Moving away from the COVID theme right now, CPSH, this is one of my larger non-COVID swings right now. This is a play on the NASA launch in a few days. Perseverance, Mars rover is going to go up. You know, the launch window starts this upcoming weekend. These guys are on the Perseverance rover. There's going to be a media blitz regarding this NASA launch, and this is a big-time play on it. We've got a very nice little flag setting up here, 285. You'll start to see some of the pre-scanner guys come in, and then $3, the chasers come in, and then $3.35, that beep, 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 multi-year breakout scanner guys will come in. So this stock should be in play over the next couple of weeks. Little pivot back now to the COVID. One of the big themes out there is contact tracing. Now, these guys supply the data for the Google COVID-19 contact tracing. Now, we got into this play a week or so ago on the downtrend break under $1, and it ended up running up almost 50% over the course of 2 days, blew through the 200-day moving average and romped up. Came all the way back down to the 200-day moving average, giving us an perfect re-entry spot, and then spiked again on that Google News on Friday. Now, this is a highly manipulated algo stock. By that, I mean these robot short programs come in. This is one of those stocks. Previous ones were COCP, Hotbox. You know the kind of trading action that requires. Contact tracing is big. It's going to continue to be big as we try to reopen in the coming weeks. So this chart is set up nicely. I'm going to pull up here. This is the 1 hour chart. You can see that big push up, came back down to support, bounced, came back down again. So let's see what happens on Monday. Freedom looks like it's going to be about $1.25, and then we're looking for, you know, 150 plus on this chart. From this area, that's an easy 30% gain with minimal downside. And if they drop a press release mentioning Google, remember on Friday, they posted an update on their website tying themselves into Google. Come on, guys. That kind of stuff doesn't move your stock. Put the actual press release out there. Guys, read press releases. DPW. Oh my goodness. Not only do they have their foot in many pots, this was a spike because they got into the EV charging. They're also a play on drones. They're in the Predator drone, etc. Big drone news on Friday were these military drones. Let me classify military drones, not the likes of UAVs, will be allowed to be exported to other countries. Big for one of their divisions here. And then it's also got a blockchain Bitcoin angle. Anyway, this stock broke out nicely on Friday, but then in after hours, for some reason, guys were giving this stock away at 242, 243, 250. Madness. Why were they doing that? There was a non-compliance press release out there. The shock of it. Did anyone actually read that? I know the shorts did because they did not say what it actually said. And lots of guys panic versus looking at what's going on. Panic is for sheep. If you actually read the press release that came out on Friday, it said they have 18 months, i.e., who gives a crap? 18 months? Ugh. Bargain central at 250. I think it ended up closing at 275, 280. Let's see if the shorts get squeezed with their fake information on Monday morning, because you know A lot of those guys went short when they were posting that quotation mark fake news on Friday after hours, deep after hours. So let's see what kind of squeeze we get on this one Monday. HOFV, Hall of Fame Entertainment. NFL is starting to hit the news here. This stock, look at this action in the last week. This is tight. It is holding support very, very well. Downtrend break is up there at 6. We're about to get a positive MACD cross. Stochastics are in the basement. This should be a good week. Just looking at this chart here on this stock. Gambling is going to be big. You're going to start to see a lot of chatter on it. The other gambling stock we have as a swing is Gamble. Esports Entertainment. Again, it's holding its 200-day moving average very, very nicely. All the other indicators have essentially gone to sleep, but oversold. Won't take much to break it out. The break level, twice in the last week, it's tried to break out over that 650 level and then came right back down. Anything under 6, I think, is an excellent addition to the swing here. And remember, these kinds of charts, all they need is one press release and they are free to the upside. The other big COVID story swing action sector that we're in is online education. Big, big, big. Schools are scrambling to go online right now because they all thought heat, because they listened to what was in the news, was going to stop the virus. It has not. So now school openings have been rolled back. We're forced to go online. These guys run TeacherTube. Very, very nice ranger every single day. This is where the scanners came in. This is the 1 hour chart. This is where the scanner guys sold. This is where the scanner guys will come in. This is where they'll sell. Simple as that. That's how this chart pattern is playing out. Now the other one on this back to school contact tracing is PHUN. Now PHUN can be a fun stock if you buy the dips and sell the tops. It's not much fun if you hold and wait. This is another highly gamed stock, but it's getting gamed here underneath this breakout. Anything 130 to 150 on big dips looks like an excellent pickup. They will be chasing the snot out of this, probably 175, 180. Target still remains 2+ on the right press release. Quick mention on INUV. We finally got that offering out of the way. We've been talking about one coming here for the last couple of weeks. It took that big spike on Friday with that excellent news was out there, and then AGP Capital went, oh, sweet, there we go. Now we can cover our short and let this one go. So again, it held above its offering price. Just keep in mind, the last offering they did was right around here before the stock doubled. So again, this is coming into this year. I've said it many times. This was one of my top plays along with UAVS that went ape. This was the other one on the AI advertising angle. They got their finger in so many pots. They're hiring in multiple cities right now. This is going to be a big getting things open type of play. Did a good offering, $10 million. AGP should be out of the way. Where will the chasers come in? Between 65 and 70 cents. That's where people are going to start eyeballing this move to $1. Again, down here for the swing, any dips around here look very, very attractive on the chart. Last stock I'm going to mention today is PLM. Now, this was a patient swing of patient swing. It took about a month or more, I think, from that initial research about this being a Tesla play. Now, on Tesla's earnings report on Wednesday, Elon Musk on the call was begging mining companies to mine for nickel and that he would give them multi-year contracts for doing this. PLM has 170 million pounds of nickel. Plain and simple. One of the very few listed nickel plays there is. Period. Where would you add on a dip here? Anything around the 50 cents area. Now, this stock is going to bounce around. Let's look at a 1 hour chart here real quick. This stock is going to bounce around and move up and down, but the story in the sector is big. This looks like a near-term bottom around the 50 cent area for, we'll probably see this one range in a 10 cent range before it tries to go again. But this is really, really big news for the sector. So that's it for the video, guys. Probably going to be taking half days here for the first few days of this week, recharge the batteries a little, but I'm going to be on early in the mornings. Please like the video, please share it, please subscribe to the channel, and have a great weekend. And see you all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.